Yeah. 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 We're going to overreact. Let's do it.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs. Thanks for making us your first listen of the day and your first listen after the game that just happened. We're going to be back here every single Saturday in the season doing exactly what we're doing. It's called
Feeling just like this, apparently.
Just like this. Today's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. 5hourenergy.com. More on them in a second. Daniel, we have so much to do. If you're Clemson fan, oh wait, no Clemson fan is here.
No, bring it, Clemson fans. You know you're out here.
We're going to be back. You all told me you were going to be here. You're not. We got Georgia fans here.
Okay.
We're going to do a couple things on this overreaction. We're going to talk about the players that showed out. We're gonna go back to the called shots that we made during the week, and you best believe we're gonna pat ourselves on the back. I don't even care. We're gonna puff out our chests a little bit. We're gonna tell you what we're looking forward to most coming out of this. Those are the three segments as we get into it. Thanks for making us your first listen, Daniel. You name a name, you start. I give you the floor.
Oh man, how are you gonna start in a game like this? Okay, I'll try. Nate Frazier came out here in this second half, and he said,
"What did he say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there availability in the backfield? Is there some sort of a void here? I'll take it. What if I just insert myself right into the mix? What if I just say, I'll be your RB1 moving forward? Listen. Trevor Etienne, Michael, did not play in the game. And so I'm just curious if you have thoughts on that.
Would you stop assuming things?
All I'm trying to tell you is that he didn't play in the game.
Oh, so you were right, is what you were saying.
But no, I didn't sit. I'll tell you what I wasn't right about. I wasn't right that Branson would just slide right in, and neither were a lot of y'all. But Nate Frazier, boy, he's got that pop, Clint. He's got juice. He puts on that number 3 and it hits a little bit different. I'm not going to lie to you. When you see that number 3 in the Georgia backfield, you begin to feel some feelings.
Some things happen, Daniel.
Yeah. So Nate Frazier, heck of a game, almost 80 yards on the ground. Had the long run, had a couple more. Would have probably had 100 yards if the turf monster hadn't gotten him right there at the end. But I loved what I saw out of Nate Frazier.
Yeah.
Thought he was absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
But it's egregious that we would start with an offensive player, Clint, because the defense is the story of the game.
The dues, okay? So Nate Frazier, we're going to give you more
kudos to
time.
you, true freshman. Kudos to you.
Freshman showing out. But Daniel,
this defense went out there to a veteran Clemson offense and gave up 3 points in a whole football game. You understand what I'm trying to say? Clemson thought they were going to cover 13.5. And they only scored 3 daggum points in the whole football game.
It was the field goal that they had, Daniel. It wasn't anything. It was just the field goal that got them there.
Or more than one field
goal? No, just the one. You and I, we made a prediction. I said 30-10 was the score, depending. And I thought that it was either going to be 30-6 or 30-10 based on the field goal into touchdown, how the red zone went. Turned out that, no, Cade had 3 good plays the entire game. Maffa had a 7-yard run. I've summed up the Clemson offense because they're so bad, which they're not great. They're not elite.
Going to be the rest of the season. We'll see.
We're going to see after today's Florida-Miami game who's going to win the ACC, I think, based upon how Miami plays and a couple other guys. But
it's interesting.
They should be good. Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Our defense better. They're better.
This defense reminded me. I had everything I needed to do 3 years ago. I saw everything I needed, Daniel.
Check. It's all there.
Was there amazing defensive backs and young bucks in the defensive backfield showing out and performing at high levels? Was there cornerbacks who were locking people down, except for those 3 perfect throws? By the way, that was it. I thought
too. The corners played unbelievable today. Julio, Dalen, I loved how the corners played. How How about KJ Bolden, Clint?
Oh,
is KJ Bolden anything?
Yo,
is there gonna be anything there?
He's starting in 2 weeks. Mark it. Maybe next week.
This week, but this week, KJ Bolden gonna start. Okay. It's this defense. It's called the Overreaction Show. Don't come here for reactions. You understand what I'm trying to say? Don't come here for reactions.
Third is not what we are right now.
Listen, just listen to me.
Yeah.
This defense may be more fun to watch than the 2021 defense. It may be more fun to watch than the 2021 defense. Clint, them boys are out there flying around to the football.
Hair on fire, looking for a bucket of water.
How many linebackers do we have who are NFL starters on this roster?
Well, we lost the only good one that we had, Daniel. He went and transferred to another SEC school. And so we only had probably 2. CJ as a sophomore and Smiles coming off an injury plagued. He's older, so he hasn't really, shown us much. And the offensive the outside backers, I mean, man, are they really going to show up? They're unproven. We got a lot to. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have 3 inside linebackers that I swear today, I don't care. You name me 3 other linebackers in the SEC, and I say keep them. I'll take my 3 dudes because Raylan
Wilson is it. He's it.
He's a revelation.
Had the game that I was waiting for him to have all year last year. I kept mentioning his name last year. I kept saying it over and over again. I feel like you love CJ Allen, which I mean, of course you do. How could you not? Look at what you see.
Yeah.
I kept feeling like Raylan Wilson's got it. He didn't really show it last year. Today, he showed it. He can do it all, Clint. He can do it all. He just laid it out there in front of God and everybody and showed it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, I know.
He's in the backfield. He's in the flat. He's sideline to sideline. He's down in coverage. He's filling the holes in the run game. Like, Raylan Wilson is everything you want a linebacker to be. This defense they may not be more talented.
No. He said more
fun. They may not be statistically better. Okay. Although I'm not willing to concede that point yet. We just played the number 14 team in the country on a neutral site in the opening game of the season and gave up a 3-piece.
4
plays. They don't even sell McNuggets that small.
4 plays were net explosive positive and explosive as in 7 runs. Holy jeez.
So I'm telling you though that this defense, after what I saw today, is my favorite Georgia defense to watch that I can remember. And I cannot wait for the rest of the season, Clint.
Guys, Malachi Starks.
We're at the end of the first segment now, and we have not spoken about the best defensive player, nay, the best player in college football
in America.
Okay, we're going to get to him when we begin the second segment and continue to overreact right after this. But first, want to tell you about Factor Meals. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor Fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved. Ready to eat in just 2 minutes. That's not a lot of time. 2 minutes is 1 minute less than the number of points Clemson scored in this game. That gives you an idea how small of a quantity it is. No matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature high-quality ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. You got other things to do. Factor meals are ready in, as I said, 2 minutes. No shopping, no prep, no cooking, no cleanup. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Head to factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 and use the code LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code LockedOnCollege50 at factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. But that's not all. Also want to let you know about eBay Motors, Clint.
eBay Motors is fantastic. Daniel and I like things that are old and need help staying alive. No, we don't like Clemson and Dabo's dreams of ever winning national championship game again. We like our cars. because they dead. See, Dabo and Clemson don't have eBay Motors because if they did, you can get parts for your wreck, your rambling that needs to keep on going every time at eBay Motors, which is fantastic because they keep our ride or dies alive. They are the ones that keep our hopes going. Daniel and I are exclusively involved in older vehicles, and we are able to do so because eBay Motors helps us get those parts, whether it's performance, whether it's engine, whether it's exterior, whether it's interior. If it's maintenance, if it's performance, if it's upkeep, eBay Motors has the right price and the right part for you. Millions of parts for your MVP. Put into your garage the make, model, year of your car, and eBay will guarantee the fit, that the part that you get will fit your ride, or they're going to make it right by giving you the right part and your money back. Go to ebaymotors.com. This is exclusively for U.S. customers. This exact part, exact fit, millions of parts for your MVP, ebaymotors.com.
How good must it be to be a sponsor on the Overreaction Show? I'm just telling you, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, Saturday show's your show.
Saturday's your show because we are going to bring the heat, y'all. Like this is what we're all about.
Like a Georgia defense.
Like a Georgia. Yeah. Daniel, Malachi Starks is the best college football player in the nation. He's not going to go one or two or three. He's not going to go in the top 5 because safety is not. You're going to get defensive ends. You're going to get tackles. You're going to get QBs. I don't
not
care.
The metric for the best college football player in America.
I saw a man bend backwards as if he was doing yoga in a studio surrounded by 45-year-old white women. And this man goes up and grabs, and he was. That's an oddly specific. He was surrounded by other athletes competing against him for the football. And he just said, thank you. That's mine. He was all over the field. He was playing out of position, Daniel. He wasn't in his normal position. He was everywhere. He was calling the defense. He was secure. He is the best player on the field for Georgia. And I know Carson Beck's on our team. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Man Carson Beck would happily say
I want. He's okay. Here, Overreaction Show. I don't care. And if you want to come at me with Thomas Davis, you come at me with Thomas Davis. He was a linebacker.
He played linebacker.
Is going to be the best safety that we've ever seen at Georgia. Period.
I mean, he played out of position the entire game. He played star the entire game. That's his secondary position. Think conceptually how difficult that must be. He didn't get beat one time. He wasn't out of position one time in the entire game, playing at his wrong position and coaching up a true freshman behind him, playing at the position he was supposed to be playing at. He didn't get beat one time. He wasn't out of position one time. He made the miraculous play, the likes of which you will never see before. Oh, except you have seen him do it before.
3 years ago.
You've seen him do it, and now he's doing it again.
Oh, my God.
And if that's not enough, he elicited on this podcast a comparison between Clemson defenders and 45-year-old middle-aged white women in a yoga class, quote, looking for the football. And that alone makes him one of the best we've ever seen in a Georgia uniform.
Guys,
you understand what I'm saying? Zach, this is the Overreaction Show. We can't help you. If that's not this is check back with us Monday through Friday. Check with us Monday through Friday.
We're measured Monday through Friday.
Better.
Today we are not.
The content will be better. No.
Okay, let's talk about that. Can we talk about the true freshman that he was coaching up, Daniel?
Let's do it. Let's talk about KJ Bolden. I saw a thing or two. I saw some things.
Flying around, big, fast, physical, hitting, smart, in position, not out of the mental side. I never questioned
the mental side. Yeah.
Mental side was always that. Let's see. I saw all I need to. Dan Jackson, thank you. I salute you for your service. You can stay on this team. You can come in different scenarios, and you could be a great, great floor. The ceiling is KJ Bolden. That ceiling is out of the room.
Yeah,
Daniel.
When Aguero comes back and Starks moves back to the safety spot, I think it's Starks and KJ. I think we saw that today. I think it's Starks and KJ. I think we're going to see that moving forward. And I love that Dan Jackson is on this team to provide depth and stability in the back end. We're going to need him. We needed him in this game, and he played absolutely fantastic. We're going to need him moving forward, and he's going to continue to play absolutely fantastic. Before we finish with the defense, Clint, the defensive front I thought played fantastic. I thought they got a consistent push all day. I could go on and on about them. I want to shift our focus to the halftime adjustments made by Mike Bobo and this offensive coaching staff.
I want you all to snap a photo of your Twitter feed, what you said about Mike Bobo first half. I want you to self-regulate and self-identify.
Yeah, we can't police all of you, okay? So some of y'all are going to need to start policing yourselves, okay? Like, just own up to it, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you were saying about Mike Bobo and his inability to call a downfield shot in the first half. And I'll let you know that Mike Bobo sat up in that press box during halftime and he said, okay, now I know what the Clemson defense has. By the way, one of the best defenses Georgia's going to face all year, if not the best defense Georgia's going to face all year.
The best front seven we will face all year.
Listen, the only front seven that might be better than them this year is Tennessee. Like towards the end of the season. It's not Alabama.
Nope.
It ain't Texas.
No.
So this was a really formidable defense in week 1. Okay. We're breaking in new guys. We have injuries, like scattered throughout. ETN is suspended. Again, Michael, ETN was suspended for this game. And we come out and we look average. Like we look average on offense in the first half. We had a few
100%.
plays that I thought we could have hit, and Kirby alluded to that going into halftime. A few plays that could have hit that just didn't hit. But Mike Bobo says, okay, I've seen what this Clemson defense has. And now I'm going to take my best player, and that's Carson Beck, who he's going to get his own little time in just a second, Carson Beck. I'm going to take my best player, and I'm going to allow him to do what he does best, and that is I'm going to spread this team out. I'm going to go 4 wide. I'm going to go 5 wide, multiple 5 wide sets in those first 2 drives of the second half, both of which were touchdown drives. I'm going to spread them out, and I'm going to let my quarterback absolutely dissect this defense, soften them up a little bit, and that is why Nate Frazier got all those yards after, like in the second half.
No mistake about it.
Mike Bobo schemed all those yards for Nate Frazier. That's why he got him.
Early on, coming out, there was this suck up to the run that was happening. That linebackers are coming in, and then we saw leakage out and a little 5, 6, 7 yard stuff that he was hitting precise in motion to get going, and that's what opened up. Then all of a sudden, Clemson switched and said, "Screw it, we can't let that happen." So go ahead. They went to that, and then that's when Nate Frazier had holes for days coming up. We're going to come back after this. We're going to talk about Carson Beck and another wide receiver that, by the way, I think I'm fully on board saying is now the most important wide receiver. It's not Dylan Bell. It's not Colby Young. It's somebody else. And I'm going to tell you who that most important wide receiver is.
You know who it is.
This.
And this is 5-hour energy. We love 5-hour energy. You boys may have had a 5-hour energy just recently, only recently. I'm not sure if it's showing or not. We love 5-hour energy. Maybe you've got a big to-do list. Maybe you're tired after lunch. Maybe you've got a big workout coming up. Maybe your favorite football team is playing and you've been pacing nervously all morning. And so you just need a little bit of a boost in the system. Get a 5-hour energy shot to give you the feeling of alertness and energy that you need to get in the zone. With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. The 5-hour energy website has flavors galore: watermelon, tropical burst, grape, berry, and so many more. Try them all. On the site, you can even build your own 12 or 24 pack. You choose the flavors, and they are delivered right to your door. So if you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get some 5-hour energy products today, you can use this promo code LOCKEDONCFB. That's locked on CFB to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th and can only be used on one order and not combined with any other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. Clint, let's end the show by talking about Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's let you tease the people about the wide receiver that you're ready. You've done some thinking.
I have feeling,
and you're ready to make a commitment. Are you ready to make a commitment today?
Yes, I'm ready to make a commitment because 2 things I saw that are vastly important to me based upon who I think now is the most important piece in the receiving position group for Carson Beck and for Mike Bobo and for Kirby Smart. And the first thing that I saw was his number called a lot. That tells me
early and often.
Early, often, and repeatable, and in high leverage, high pressure situations. There were specific play calls for this wide receiver. Point 1. Point 2, I only had one question about this receiver's ability. It was not his speed. It was not his toughness even. He's battled through injuries. It's not his toughness.
And he's a great perimeter blocker. He's always been a great perimeter blocker.
Saw him on that
speedy wide receiver. Normally, a speedy wide receiver is soft, frail, right? Chicken legs out there.
Not this guy.
Not Arian Smith. No.
The last thing I needed to see was possession ability to catch the football. Check. That was the final piece. I saw Mike Bobo specifically game plan for him. I saw Carson Beck trust him. I saw him take hits, and I saw him in tight coverages catch the football and hold on to the football in comeback routes, not just the go routes in which you're basket catching. I'm talking hands out in front of me, grab it, pull it into me, hold on to it as a DB is barreling down my back and trying to rip the ball out. And I saw Arian Smith do it. Guys, Arian Smith is the most important wide receiver for this group. If he does well, our offense has no limit on it. Literally, no limit is on this offense and Carson Beck if he continues doing what he did today, because he's over at the top. He has the sure-handedness. There's McCole Hardeman in him a little bit. Yeah. There's that ability, but now all of a sudden he added I'm just going to go get a ball. I'm going to get a 7-yard comeback, because if you're afraid of the 50-yard bomb, you got to play
which you are.
And now all of a sudden that 7-yard comeback to the sticks to get the first down, wide open. You just need to have sure hands. Yeah. Check.
Listen, okay, this is the part of the show. It's always the overreaction show. This is the part where, like, you can let us know in the comments.
They will.
We're going to talk about Carson Beck now. There are so many guys we did not talk about. So if you're mad that we haven't talked about Cash Jones, which he put a man in the ground. He put the man in the ground. You understand? Like, if you're mad that we're not talking about London Humphreys, who just turned on the burners and then said, "Oh, is there contact up here at the goal line? I'll find it."
What about a little dead leg for a score that nearly scored for play that nearly scored on their perimeter?
Lord in heaven! What about Colby Young, the red zone threat, the red zone answer? People talking about Brock Bowers. Come on now, Colby Young, the. If you're mad that we're not talking about all these names, Lawson Lucky. How about Lawson Lucky? We haven't talked about.
I'm back Monday. We'll talk about all of them.
That's right. That's right. Monday's show, we will talk about all of them. Georgia fans, you don't know how good you have it with Carson Beck. This guy is different. He's better. He's different, and his greatest skill set fits perfectly with Georgia's roster construction. Let me explain. Georgia's got a bunch of dudes who are all pretty good at wide receiver / tight end receiving positions, right? Yeah. A bunch of them. I'm talking about a bunch of them. 9 different guys with a catch today. 8 different guys with multiple catches today, okay? They got a bunch of dudes. A young quarterback likes to find his guy, Brock Bowers, and just lock in on him and go to the well over and over. That's what an inexperienced quarterback, that's what a young quarterback does. Of course. Carson Beck's greatest skill set is not his laser beam arm, even though he can throw BBs out there. Like, he's absolutely, it's not his accuracy on the deep ball, which he got that too.
Okay. He got that. 2 things in which he's exceptional at, but it's not his best.
It's not his ability to be a junior version of Stetson Bennett, get out there and use his legs and create first downs in the run game. No, it ain't that. But his greatest asset is his ability to read a defense and react to what the defense is giving him. Now, what do you need in order to do that? You need a full complement of guys, all of whom, Dom Lovett, Colby Young, London Humphreys, Dylan Bell, backs out of the backfield, including, Branson and Nate and Cash and ETN probably next week. Michael, I do think ETN will play next week.
Speculation.
I'm sorry. That is fair. I am speculating about that. I do not know if he will play, and I should only report things I know. Michael ain't listening to 25 minutes in the third segment. I just promise you that. He ain't
not
here.
A loyal segment third.
He's out here he's out here with the Clemson fans taking this one off. He's taking this episode off. But Carson Beck's greatest skill set fits in perfectly. Do you see what I'm saying with the group that we have? Because when Mike Bobo said, screw it, I'm just going to spread these honkies out and just throw it to whoever's open. That's correct. Exactly what we did in the second half. And whoever was open just got chunk after chunk after chunk. And it turned out not to be one guy with 5 or 6 catches. Who led this team in catches today? Arian Smith had 5. Dylan Bell had 4.
Okay.
You had Dominic Lovett with 3. And then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys, all with multiple catches.
See what he's saying?
We're not force feeding the ball to one guy. We're just letting the routes develop and throwing it, and they're all good enough. That's the point. They're all good enough to do it.
Yeah. And you're going to find the mismatch somewhere because, like we saw, London Humphreys gets a little zone coverage that carried with a linebacker, and all of a sudden he can't run with that speed.
No, sir.
Underneath, catches the ball, yards after catch, he's gone. Arian Smith gets lined up against anybody. That's a mismatch. You name the corner. I don't care. Dylan Bell. I mean, the list goes on and on of guys that you're going to find the weakness, right? If all of your players across the board are B plus A minus, which I'm not fighting anybody. We don't have any A pluses right now. Arian Smith might
at the wide receiver position. At the wide receiver position, we don't have any A pluses, and I think that George Van. I think you can accept that, right? Like there are no George Pickenses on this team. There are no Brock Bowerses on this team. They just aren't there.
They're not there. Arian Smith might develop into one. Dylan Bell might develop into one, but right now they're not, which is A-okay with me because Carson Beck's going to find the C plus defender on the
because we got an A plus, and his name's Carson Beck.
His name is Carson Beck. Y'all, it's overreaction. I don't care. I'm here for it. You have the absolute baller of Stetson Bennett and the talent of Matthew Stafford and Carson Beck. I said what I said.
Yeah. So you're saying the most talented quarterback to ever play at Georgia and the greatest college football player of all time?
This is what I'm trying to tell you. That
you're saying he's a hybrid of those two guys?
It's what I'm telling you right now, Daniel.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm not out here to censor you, Clint.
Not today.
I'm going to allow it
because we just put a whooping on Clemson, who scored.
I'm talking against about 34-3. We laid it on Dabo. Dabo acting unchristian out there on the sideline.
Hey, that's an elite coach.
Dabo Sweeney has won multiple national championships, Clint.
Sure, can't deny that.
Kirby Smart has won multiple national championships, Clint.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
That's where the similarities between those two guys ends. That's it. You understand that? Who do you think is going to get the next one, Dabo or Kirby?
Well, it's likely. Oh no! Oh,
listen. They're just these two teams are not the same.
They're not
these two teams are just not the same team. Okay, they're just not the same team. I'm sorry to everyone who that affects.
Team in the ACC, possibly the best team in the ACC, yet to be determined.
Yeah, we'll see.
And one of the best teams. How about that? Top 2 team in the ACC
for sure.
And we ran all over them every phase we wanted.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, all over them. 34-3.
Okay, thank you.
People like we weren't going to be able to cover 13. Okay.
He is Daniel. I'm Clint. We're going to be back on Monday, and we're going to be talking about all the things that we didn't talk about today because it's your reaction show. We will see you guys then.
See ya.